So I attended the first course of change agents of the School of Peace for mental health professionals. The course has affected me in so many ways, and it will be very difficult to cover all the aspects in the 8 minutes that Harb gave me. So I would like to choose and focus on how the course affected my identity as a leftist and my professional identity as a psychologist. Okay? Thankfully, I kept the summary I was requested to write at the end of the course. It was one of our obligations to write. It's 10 years ago, and the summary begins and ends with dreams. You know, we psychologists, we like dreams. So, the first one, I had this dream a week before leaving to Istanbul, where there was our first workshop, where we met the first time with the Palestinians. And in my dream, I was preparing for a war, a frightening war, but I felt I was well equipped for it. And I was full of confidence. Back then, when I was reflecting in the summary this dream, after the course, I saw the dream as a reflection of my expectation that in the course I will be at a kind of war, under danger, but at the same time, certain of my equipment I was carrying. Leftist views and values, knowledge, and extensive experience as a psychologist. In retrospect, I realized that being a leftist, the equipment I took with me to the course was not really accepted favorably by the Palestinians participants in the meetings. Not between the meetings, where we had wonderful relations, but in the meetings, and mostly I was ignored. I felt that the Palestinian participants were constantly seeking to engage the Jewish participants with center and right views. That they were constantly looking for opportunities to get angry, to confront, and justify extreme statements. At one of the meetings, I felt so helpless that I started to cry and couldn't stop myself for a long hour. Something it's hard for me, even 10 years since then, I cannot forget it. I realized that for Palestinians, there was no difference between me and the rest of the Israelis. I represented Israel, the occupying power of Palestinians of 1967, or Israel that discriminates against the Arabs of 1948. And I gravely realized that I am unable to split these elements from my Israeli identity. No matter how hard I tried, it was a harsh realization, and I tried to argue with it, but I couldn't ignore it. At the end of the course, in the last night of the workshop in Aqaba, the second dream I want to tell you about it, I was standing on a stage, reciting a scene from a Shakespeare's play. The crowd slowly leaves since they are bored, and I wrote, I feel that the course placed me with some mission. It placed me on some stage, but I do not know what stage. I was losing my audience. I don't feel comfortable anymore with my own friends. I don't feel any more comfortable with my identity as an Israeli leftist. So where do I go from here? I was not sure. 10 years have passed since then, and now I have some retrospective on what happened since that course. And so many things happened to me, some of them so unexpected. I think that the most significant thing that happened is that I realized that I'm also responsible and that it is not enough that I see myself as a leftist. I know that the Palestinians expect that statements will be accompanied by action. And this expectation has become internalized and melted to me. Thankfully, I joined Psychoactive, mental health professionals for human rights. And together with other graduates of the course, we were among those who gave Psychoactive energy and momentum. Psychoactive has been a home for me since then. It is my support group. There are some members from Psychoactive here, like Bella and Evie, and I think, and Nava, of course. We made many courses, conferences, where we try to spread our ideas between mental health professionals all over the country, trying to talk about the responsibility of mental health professionals in the conflict, and trying to raise the awareness about the prizes, the mental prizes that both sides pay for this ongoing bloody conflict. I joined other activity groups, like I have the unfortunate fate to belong to the bereaved family circles, Palestinian and Israeli bereaved. I don't know how many of you know, so I belong to it and I'm very active there. And it also affected my work as a psychologist, since I entered many aspects of political social, the political social dimension to the way I'm working. I don't think anymore that while I see my patient, I'm in Schweiz or in some natural bubble. I'm mostly aware that I am a Jewish, part of the hegemony, and if I see an Arab patient, he's part of the minority. Or if I see a Jewish patient that says some very racist things, I try to some way give place to it in my work. So I'll stop here. As I told you, I can talk about it more and more, but I'm most thankful to Nava and to the School of Peace that really helped me to find a way to integrate between my professional identity and my activist identity, and to give a lot of meaning to my life since then. Thank you.